The NHL could not be more supportive of the Coyotes' efforts to make the Tempe Entertainment District a reality.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman was called out by former hockey player and activist Akim Aliu. Akim has rang the bell on racism in hockey from former coach Bill Peters.
I kind of ran the music in the dressing room, and the coach came in one day and said, "Hey, Akim, I'm sick of you playing this every day. This, that." You can hear a pin drop in the dressing room.
Former staffers in blackface and unfortunate hazing incidents that transpired. His next critique is of Bettman.
But in order for that to happen, we need you, fans of the team, community members and residents, to come out and show your support.
Bettman is pulling the oldest trick in the book.
Please vote in support of the Tempe Entertainment District, and let's bring a new arena and a permanent home for the Coyotes right here in Tempe.
Attempting to sway the public to give a flailing franchise millions of taxpayer money, relinquishing any discussion whatsoever from the owners, who are some of the richest ever, from footing the bill. Aliu was none too pleased, tweeting, "Does it get any more embarrassing? Commissioner of the NHL begging Arizona taxpayers for votes to fund a new arena while the team has lost millions of dollars spanning decades, while there are multiple viable markets to move this team, all while players cover costs for the foreseeable future." So long story short, before they were the Coyotes, they were the Jets. They moved from Winnipeg to Phoenix. They were awful. Okay, totally awful. And then in 2003, they would move again from Phoenix to Glendale, the same city the NFL's Arizona Cardinals play. You see it everywhere. University of Phoenix Stadium was the naming rights previously. That's all in Glendale. In 2005, we learned of Jerry Moyes, who made his money in trucking and would file for bankruptcy. The NHL took it over, however. And what we learned was a lot. It was quite a lot. Essentially, the owner showed in court documents the team lost money. They were hemorrhaging money, and then they lost more money. An audit showed the team was simply not profitable. When the National Hockey League, ran the Coyotes franchise, they struck a deal with Glendale. They had their sights set on a new arena, try $220 million for it, with the residents footing $180 million of it. In 2015, Glendale was like, done. We've had enough. They voided the long-term lease, claiming violations through a conflict of interest. Now, here is where the conflict of interest is interesting. Per the Guardian's reporting, okay, it came down to a city attorney who would draft the lease agreement, then later became a member of the Coyotes' franchise and was placed on the payroll, I kid you not, thus the following year. Tempe is brought up as the destination, and you know what? It continued over and over again. Fans were angered. Residents of Glendale were hit with the doomful threat of a move. Basically, Glendale, though, through their own research, would find it was more profitable to host concerts and different events and not have the Coyotes in their location in the state. More profitable to have concerts than a sports franchise. In 2021, the city of Glendale announced the lease would not be renewed. This was done because the team and city were on a year-to-year agreement basis. The team scrambled, and thus they would settle on Mullet Arena, where locker rooms looked like this. Think of this as, one writer put it, a warehouse converted into a pro team's hockey home. Its capacity was 5,000 people, though, of course, we all knew that this was very, 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 very temporary. In January of last year, the team put out these designs, hoping to spark interest in the community to build a brand new $1.7 billion arena and entertainment district. Thus, you have Bettman going on Twitter and begging for support. Alas, the Tempe City Council voted unanimously to place Propositions 301, 302, and 303 on the special election ballot. All three, if approved, would give the green light for this to go down. Many times over, we have brought the evidence from trusted sources in the field to show how sports teams dipping into the pockets of taxpayers is not only a money grab, but a huge waste. For example, let's point to when the state of New York reached an agreement with the Buffalo Bills, a facility that would cost $1.4 billion. And the Pagulas, who are fracking billionaires who own the franchise, did the, as we all know it as, the threat of a move. Build the facility or we move. So New York's governor, a Democrat, and many others would say, this is a phenomenal deal. We got a great deal. The Bills are staying. It's a great deal. There's political pressure, of course, for her to get this done, but the costs don't outweigh the benefits. Taxpayers in New York are footing $850 million for that stadium. Victor Matheson, professor of economics and accounting at the College of Holy Cross, would pen, I am not exaggerating when I write that the New York legislature has managed to craft one of the worst stadium deals in recent memory. The director of state and local policy at the American Economic Liberties Project would say, of Arizona, I'm mostly chuckling that we're sitting here talking about the Arizona Coyotes in the year of our Lord 2023 because it's been such a joke for so long that this silly team in a silly place is trying to get a publicly funded arena. One journalist would note they believe taxpayers would foot $500 million to this new Tempe entertainment district. Sports economists conclude the same message. The large subsidies commonly devoted to constructing professional sports venues are not justified as worthwhile public investments. But, as always, billionaires/sports owners donate to these political campaigns for times like these. And many others, of course, as it pertains to their wealth, their businesses, what have you, tax breaks. But this is also key in why many owners and commissioners will say, remain apolitical, keep politics out of sports, to fans, to athletes, what have you. But yet when it comes to the hierarchy of sports owners, they are fully invested and they are not apolitical, they are completely political. And this is why the message remains clear from a sports economist. The only thing better for a team owner than a new stadium is a new stadium that someone else pays for.